Hello, friends, and welcome in the Canadian flower garden. So, you've got flowers on the back, flowers on the shirt. Winter just arrived, so I said to myself, well, you know what? Let's bring a little bit of spring back in here. But anyway, it's just because I love colors and like flowers. So, I think these are two very good reasons. Welcome again to the live stream Thursday. Today's topic is it was a little bit of a title bait to tell you the number one reason why most hypnotherapists and also coaches fail. And it's not just to attract your attention, because this is widely known actually in our industry. When it comes to hypnotherapy and coaching, most of us, I would say, we master what we want to master in terms of our expertise. We know what we're doing. Our service programs are ready, and yet something is not quite working correctly the way it should. So I wanted to make a series of live webinars about this specific problem that I see over and over again to help you avoid some of those errors. It's actually one main error, and then 10 top solutions to actually avoid those. And to do that, let me share my screen with you. I prepared a little presentation for you to make it easier for you to follow through. So here's my screen. So why most hypnotherapists and coaches fail? Well, if this would move away, that would be nice. Here we go. So you very likely have your niche nailed down. You know what type of customer you'd like to serve. That can be B2B customers, can be B2C customers. So on that side on that front, you have done your homework. You know who you're serving, and you optimized, hopefully, everything else to serve those people in the best possible way. You also have your website ready. You have your landing pages ready, and the difference between website and landing pages, I've explained it quite frequently. So I invite you to go back to those videos, and now you can view all videos in one spot. Everything has been updated on YouTube, the YouTube channel that you can find underneath this video as a comment. I will add it so that it's easy for you to find it. You also have your funnels good to go, and hopefully you've been following some of my emails to understand what a funnel is. And so funnels are very important to lead the right people to the page that aims at solving their main problem or their pain point in such a way that you have designed what's called an irresistible offer, and people in that funnel will in the end convert and become a client of yours. You also have your service offerings and programs nailed down and ready to perfection. This is probably the first thing we all do once we are certified life coaches, hypnotherapists, and we have been with a few of our clients, and we know what needs to be improved. So all those things, we usually tend to make actually a good job, right? Our niches, our landing pages, websites, our funnels, we have our service offerings, right? And still something doesn't really work out the way we want to. We are not getting enough clients. So why is that? Well, here's one of the main reasons, if not the number one reason, why most coaches fail to get traction, and coaches and hypnotherapists, obviously, and that is they aren't getting traffic. So you may have heard that word often enough. Traffic. You need traffic, etc., etc. But what exactly is traffic? A lot of us don't know precisely what it is, especially not when it comes to defining the different types of traffic. So let me quickly explain the different types of traffic. So what actually is traffic? There are mainly two types of traffic, and very easily you could say there's non-qualified traffic and then there is qualified traffic. Okay, what is qualified traffic? Because non-qualified traffic, let's say non-qualified traffic could be anything that you engage in and that's not specifically targeting your ideal customer. You know, we all have done hopefully these exercises with our ideal customer avatar. Anything you engage in that doesn't specifically target your ideal customer avatar, your ideal customer that you're looking for, because that's the type of services you're offering, would qualify as non-qualified traffic. For example, you are writing blog posts on your own website or on a partner website, on a friend's website, guest blog posting. You cannot really target a specific type of person that will land on your website and read the content or watch the video that you have recorded about a specific topic. It would qualify as non-qualified topic, right? That doesn't mean that, and I want to make that distinction very clear because it's important, that doesn't mean that you cannot transform a non-qualified traffic source into a qualified one. For example, with SEO. If you have a blog content on your website and you optimize it in such a way that it targets specific search terms that your customer, your ideal customer, would be looking for on Google, then you have transformed that content, that piece of content, into qualified traffic. But the big distinction between non-qualified and qualified still applies, and it's very important to understand how those two are different. Okay, let me go back to the presentation. Here we go. So what is qualified traffic? Very simply put, qualified traffic is interested people seeing what you have to offer. As simple as that. And that can be on your website, on a landing page. It could be a lead generation ad on Facebook. It could be an ad appearing on Google when a customer, potential client of you is searching for a specific service or is trying to solve a specific problem. Whenever your traffic reaches interested people and they're able to see what you have to offer, we talk about qualified traffic. Okay, so now what are the 10 types of qualified traffic? Because after all, if I tell you that it's important to take care of qualified traffic, then obviously you need to know what type of qualified traffic are the most interesting one and how they differ. And they differ in various degrees. Qualified traffic varies in terms of how difficult it is to engage into that type of qualified traffic, how long it takes of that specific type of qualified traffic to produce the results that you are hoping to produce. And they also involve the reflection whether or not you can do that all by yourself on your own, or if you need an agency, or if you need other people or partners or whatever to engage in an activity related to that qualified traffic. So I have ordered them in a sequence of 1 to 10, and I tried to put the most important qualified traffic sources on top. But it doesn't mean, and I want you to keep that in mind. It doesn't mean that whatever you count through now in this top 10 list of things in terms of qualified traffic, that they can't switch position. It all depends what you are comfortable doing when it comes to producing qualified traffic. It boils down to also the amount of resources you have available, either people, power, or money for certain of those traffic resources, and it depends on where you are already with your business, because you may have engaged in some of those that you will encounter now, and others not yet. So that obviously changes the order in which you would engage into one of those traffic sources. So let me share my screen again, and here we are. Not back to my screen. Yeah, this is the right button. Here we go. Good. So, qualified traffic source number 1, I would say, is Google Ads. And I'll explain to you why. There are advantages and disadvantages related to using Google Ads. Here are the advantages. Well, first of all, it is an intent-based traffic source. Now, what is intent-based? We distinguish between two big sources of traffic. Intent-based and interest-based traffic. So, intent-based is when a person has the intention to find an answer to a problem, or formulates a question to find the answer to a question or a problem they have, when they have a problem to solve. Usually speaking, when that happens, we tend to go to search engines. It's either Google, the biggest search engine on the planet, if you're talking about a text search, or it's YouTube in terms of a video search. YouTube is nothing other than a search engine specializing in video content. Okay, so when somebody searches actively, that's called intent-based, because that person has the intention to find something specific. Otherwise, they would not be searching for it, right? Interest-based is any qualified traffic, and we will encounter those because they're part of that list, where people, generally speaking, are interested in a specific topic, but they're not searching for it at the very moment where, for example, your ad appears on one of a platform, be it Facebook or LinkedIn or even Udemy or Linda, wherever. So when somebody is not searching, but they have a specific interest that they have communicated to one of those platforms, because that's what we do when we sign up for Facebook. We are asked, what are your interests? Because we want to serve you with the best possible content on Facebook and put you in connection with people that share that interest. So that's interest-based. Google Ads are intent-based. That's the very first, very important distinction to make between the different form of ads. Google Ads, intent-based. Secondly, it's immediate. It's immediate in the sense that if I set up a campaign with Google Ads and I push the button go, it usually takes an hour or two until the algorithm picks the campaign over, indexes everything and puts it into the loop, because now I'm appearing with my ad among all the competitor ads. So that needs to be put into place by a Google algorithm, but that is incredibly fast. It's sometimes half an hour, sometimes an hour, sometimes 2 hours. So that means it's really quite, that's what I call immediate in comparison to all the other ad traffic or traffic sources, because there are traffic sources which are not ads. So that's for the big advantage, I would say, for Google Ads. So they are intent based, so you can target specific search terms that people are entering into Google, and the answers are immediate because the ad appears directly on screen. And for the longest time, people were avoiding ads because they were either on the side or at the bottom, or they were differentiated from what any other search result would appear on your screen. But things have changed a lot. Now when people are searching on Google, if they are interested in solving a specific problem, then I can assure you that yes, they click on ads, because I see the figures coming in every single day. And there are loads of conversions depending on the type of service that you're offering. And people click on ads because very usually they know that somebody is paying for that ad to appear. So they suspect that when they click on that ad, the service or the product that is behind that ad will respond to the precise problem they have or the precise question they have. So they are immediate, they are hyper-targeted. They're hyper-targeted because with Google, we can nail down it not only by search term, but also by geolocation, so the country, the city, even a postal code we are able to target. We can target the time of day. We can target the platform, whether or not that ad should appear on mobile, on a tab, or on a PC desktop or an Apple computer. The targeting options are, I would say, almost overwhelming. And that's a good thing to have, because if you've got the options in terms of targeting, you are able to pinpoint the people that you want to reach. And that obviously is a very good thing to do. A very good thing for us if we want to reach our coaching and hypnotherapy clients. So next up is we have the possibility of have direct response with Google Ads, because obviously when somebody clicks on the ad, they're immediately sent to either the landing page that reflects the response that your ad has been formulated in form of a question or an offer or the title that was part of the ad, or on your website. So now it becomes important, obviously, to make sure that the landing page, meaning the page where people land on after clicking on an ad, is fully optimized in such a way that they will find the answer to their questions. Disadvantages. Well, obviously, Google Ads are not free. You have to pay for them, so they have to you have to set a budget aside. And generally speaking, out of experience, depending on the industry sector you're in, but when it comes to hypnotherapy and coaching, you would probably need to start anywhere in between $500 and $1,000 a month. So I hope you're not falling off your chair, but there's a reason for that. The reason is that you want to clock as many impressions and clicks early on in your campaign to get the data you need to optimize the campaign. Once a campaign is optimized, you can either dial down or, what happens actually more frequently, dial up and increase your budget. Now, here is why. A lot of people get that wrong. Investing into Google Ads, as I just said, is an investment. You should never, ever consider it as a cost, because it's not a cost. A cost is something that where you pay money for it, and that's it. There's no money coming back to you. Example, a car. Unless you're a cab driver, when you buy a car, there's no money coming back. It only costs money, right? The maintenance, the fuel, the what have you, everything goes into that car. It never comes back. Contrary to the car, Google Ads are an investment, because whatever you invest into your ads appearing on Google has to come back to you. Otherwise, why would you do ads in the first place, right? So if you invest $500 into Google Ads to start with, or $1,000, what you want to come back to you is, let's say, an ROI, return on investment, or return on ad spend of 200, 300, 400, 500%. So that means twice the investment, 3 times the investment, 4 or 5 times the investment. I invest 1,000, I want to get back at least 2, maybe 3, maybe 4, maybe $5,000, right? I invest to get money back. That's called investment. Google Ads are not a cost factor, it's an investment. Okay, let's go back to the presentation. The disadvantage is, as I just explained, it takes a little bit of time to optimize a campaign. On average, I'd say between 3 to 6 months, but that doesn't mean that you need to wait 3 to 6 months until your first customers or clients book a hypnotherapy session or a coaching session or sign up for a coaching program, right? Usually, after a month or two, you'll find your first customer or two, right? And when that happens, these customers, this first customer actually pays back your investment right away, right? Let's say you invest $500 in a Google Ads campaign, and after 5-6 weeks, you find, well, hopefully it will be faster, but sometimes that's the time it takes. And then you find a customer, and that customer pays $300, $400, or $500. I don't know how much you charge for a hypnotherapy session. Pays you for that session. Well, the investment just came back to you, right? So our main objective in the beginning when we launch and run ads is actually to achieve what's called a break-even point, where we break even, that we get at least as much money back as we invested. And that doesn't mean that you are losing money or that nothing is happening. Quite to the contrary. When you are investing, I consider it, when you are investing $500 or $1,000 into a Google Ads campaign and you get $1,000 back by the end of the month, then you just had 30 days of learning experience in your ad campaign, and you were able to look at the numbers, the data, and you start optimizing your ad campaign. That's not nothing, right? If you are getting paid to learn, that's not nothing. So break even is probably the first thing to achieve, but obviously very quickly we would like to have a return on investment that's positive, that goes beyond 100%. And that's what's happening usually after at least 3 months, things start to move. So, and that's Google Ads. So let's move to the next portion of the next type of traffic that is of interest to us in terms of hypnotherapy and coaching services that we're offering. And these are social media ads. So Facebook, social media on Facebook, on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. Okay. The advantage here, again, it's immediate, right? The moment your campaign has been accepted by the algorithm of the platform, you're getting into direct response. The ads appear, people see it, click on the ad, and they take an action depending on how well you did your job on the landing page or on your website. The disadvantage, again, it's costing you dollars, right? Ads are paid. You have to pay for ads. But this time, you see, it's different with Google Ads. Now we are in an interest-based environment. Traffic on social media, ads on social media are interest-based. They are no longer as targeted as Google Ads, right? That means, generally speaking, your conversion rates, meaning the number of people clicking on your ads in comparison to the number of people seeing your ads, is way, way lower. Okay, and that sometimes means also that your ads on your ad campaigns on Facebook are more expensive in comparison to Google Ads. Not always, because quite often, depending on how well you target, your cost per click is lower as well. Cost on click on Google Ads is usually tends to be higher because it's so ultra targeted, and we are being put into contact with people who are looking literally for the services we have to offer. Here again, you have an optimization time of 3 to 6 months. So it takes some time to optimize campaigns. There is no way around this, and it's important to know that. Number 3 on our list of traffic sources are referrals. So if you have, and you see the advantage here is obviously is high trust, because you are personally referred by someone else to come see you because you're a great coach. You're a great hypnotherapist. So that's obviously a very high rating in terms of the of the trust rating, and that's very advantageous because the conversion rates, usually speaking, for people that are referred to us is very high. It also can go relatively quick if the people that are referring us know of somebody who has a problem, which is related to what we are offering in terms of a solution. So it can be quick. It's not as quick as Google Ads, I can tell you right away. It usually takes longer time. And the effectiveness of referrals also obviously depends on the pool of people that are able to referring you. Your friends, your family members, whoever knows you, or your community on Facebook, whoever knows you, your services, and wants to refer you, depends on the number of people you have in the pool that of people that can refer you, will determine whether or not this can actually generate revenue quickly for you or not. So the disadvantage, you see, you have relatively low to no control because, well, you're not with the person referring you when that happens, and you're also not with the person who may need your services. You don't know when they will be calling you. Maybe the next day, maybe the next week, it may be the next month. So you have very little control over referrals. And that's not a very good place to be in, especially when you're starting out, obviously. When you start out, you need to generate a revenue fast, and referrals is certainly an important traffic source, and that's why I put it on number 3. But you have much less control, and it also depends. And I have added this here on the screen. It depends on the testimonials that you will have on your landing pages on your websites. Usually, the person referring you is your testimonial because they wouldn't refer you if they wouldn't think highly of you. But again, it's not something you're in control of because it doesn't happen while you are around. Number 4 on our list: search engine marketing in combination with SEO, search engine optimization. So the advantage here is that you do not have ad spend per se. You're still spending money because you have to pay somebody to actually do your search engine optimization, unless you learn how to do it on your own, which can be done. It's not something that's all too difficult actually to learn, and it's something I teach in my Done For You courses for those of you who need an all-included solution for taking care of your websites, landing pages, marketing, and funnel building. But it's something you can learn on your own. It's not rocket science. Very, very honestly, a lot of people put so much technical jargon in what needs to be done, but if you boil it down to a few, I'd say 5 things to understand and why they work the way they work, then it's not that difficult. So you could learn to do SEO. The problem is it takes an awful lot of time to become effective, and you're not in full control of the results. That's the problem with SEO. SEO takes time, so there's nothing, I would say, depending on the type of keyword, if it's a high traffic keyword or not. But normally, usually speaking, there's nothing under 3 months very early, on average between 6 months and a year to see things happening. So again, much less control. So the disadvantage for some people, it may be perceived as being complex, because if you want to take into consideration all factors that you can optimize on a page, on a blog site, on a blog article, or your website, or whatever, even your videos that you want to optimize, yes, it can become complex, but you don't need to go into the nitty-gritty. In the beginning, again, it's enough to know 5 variables and to get them right to see things happening. Another disadvantage, obviously, for high traffic keywords, you'll have an awful lot of competition because they know which search terms people are using on Google Ads, and everybody wants to appear when people search naturally. They want organically appearing on the first page of Google, and there's just like 10 search results. So you imagine the competition. So if it's a high traffic keyword, those 6 months to a year may go up to 1.5 years to 2. So that's where you lose the control of what's going to happen. Another disadvantage here, I have listed content. So obviously you need to write content because it's either writing content for a blog article or it's producing video and optimizing video. But content is at the base of any search engine optimization effort. So you need to engage in content, and writing content or producing video, as I do right here with you, speaking to you through this camera, is what? Video content, which can be optimized. And I optimize that on YouTube with keywords. Okay. So again, you need to learn how to produce that content, obviously. You have 6 months to years. Yes, exactly. Yeah, I said here, not 6 months to a year. I wrote 6 months to years because that's really what can happen. So number 5. Content marketing. We were just speaking about content marketing. It comes back here because it can be its own, I'd say, traffic source. If, for example, if you take care of your own blog and your own videos, as I was just mentioning. So in the difference between what I was just mentioning in terms of SEO is really like you learn how to optimize content. But here with content marketing, you actually learn how to write content and how to produce content. As a matter of fact, before doing any content, you would think about the topic that you'd like to write about or to do a video, produce a video about, and then you produce or you write the blog article having in mind that this is the specific search term or the specific topic keyword that you'd like to rank high on YouTube or on Google. So there is a complete different way of writing content. It's no longer writing content and then asking yourself afterwards, okay, so how do I optimize this? It's the other way around. You need to find and to determine, first of all, what's the key phrase I want to appear on Google or on YouTube. And then you write the content for that search term. So that's different. That's why it's called content marketing and SEM, which stands for search engine marketing. So the advantage here, again, it's relatively low cost if you do it, but let's say if you value your time as a hypnotherapist or a coach, and you trust me, you will begin value your time rather quickly, then you understand that can be very costly because that's time spent on writing content that you cannot be with a client who would be able to pay you. Right? So in the beginning, if you've got few clients, it makes sense to do content marketing. But at some point in time, when clients are rolling in, you no longer have the time to do it. So, but then there are other solutions. Then you can engage people, you can pay them now, and there are good content writers you can find. And I can help you find them. I teach even where to find people that can help you in your business. The other advantage is obviously this is incredibly appreciated by Google. Google just loves content because that's all they do, indexing content of value and making those pages appear because that's what you're looking for when you're searching on Google. So if we don't produce content of value, Google would not even exist. As simple as that. And Google the entire business model of Google is based on quality content. Making quality content appear for a search on Google allows Google to ask advertisers to invest so they can appear alongside that content when somebody searches on Google or on YouTube. So, in other words, content is incredibly important for Google, and not any content, but content of quality. So, the disadvantage to content marketing is you need expertise, obviously. If you want to write about something that's of interest to somebody and that is evaluated by Google algorithm as being of quality in relationship to the search term that you have optimized your article for, then guess what? You need to know what you're talking about. You are the expert and you need to showcase that expertise, and that's basically why you're writing. Or that's why you are doing a video about traffic sources for hypnotherapists and coaches, as I do here. I'm an expert in digital marketing, and I had to talk about that expertise to help people like you avoid making the errors that most people do if they're not digital marketing specialists. Disadvantage of content marketing is also, well, it takes a lot of time. To produce high-value content, and now we're talking about, it's called skyscraper content, which are really like long pages. And we're talking sometimes, not always, it depends. In high traffic volume, high traffic search terms that are very, very desirable to appear for on Google, I've seen pages that go now into 3,000 to 5,000 words. So that's a long, long article. Not just the wording, then there's the titles and the subtitles, the headers and the pictures, everything has been optimized. So it can be quite time intensive to do all that. So that was number 1 to number 5 on our list of traffic content of importance to hypnotherapists and coaches. And again, incredibly important because I've seen so many people, hypnotherapists, I see it over and over again in community platforms on Facebook, struggling to find traction, find clients. And sadly, quite often I see people fold their business, disappointed, and going back to their 9 to 5. And I really, really, really would like to help people avoid finding themselves in that scenario. And that's one of the reasons why I do this free content about digital marketing. I want to leave it there for today. I want to do my weekly live streams shorter, half an hour at most, if I can. I try. And so number 6 to 10, I will produce them. I will show them. I'll talk about those next week. And don't forget to subscribe to this group here on Facebook, and very importantly, please also subscribe to my new YouTube channel. I will put the link underneath this video so that you'll find it easily. That would be incredibly appreciated, because guess what? I need at least 100 subscribers on my YouTube channel, guess, to actually change the name and give it the name it deserves. I want to name it something digital marketing for hypnotherapy and coaches, so that when you search on YouTube for resources about marketing for specifically coaches and hypnotherapists, you actually find my channel. Right now, that doesn't work, and I need at least 100 subscribers. So long story short, I'm promoting my own YouTube channel. I will put the link underneath this video, and please go there, click on the link, subscribe, and leave a comment. There's quite a large number of videos on there of great interest to you already. And until next week, I just hope you will have a lovely day, a nice weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Next week, same time, on Facebook and now YouTube, LinkedIn, and also Twitter. Have a good one. Bye-bye.